Hello, thank you for listening to Hobo Armour's podcast at www.hoboarmour.com. On today's show, we're going to be talking to Adrian Blantford about his current YouTube video blogs. To find Adrian's video blogs, get yourself over to YouTube and search for the Day Ticket Angler.
Hiya, Adi. You alright, mate?
Not bad, Mark, yourself?
Well, this is the third attempt at doing this. Unfortunately, all the software keeps breaking, so hopefully this time we've got it right. So what have you been up to this week?
This week we started off at Sandhurst on Monday. I was working down in the area, so Sandhurst was the pick of the lake. We started there, managed to, after seeing a few fish, getting into one of the two most famous pegs on the lake. That was the pipe swim, peg 31.
Lovely.
Yeah, probably out of the lake, the two most notorious and, like I say, famous pegs on the lake are the car park swim and pipes. Obviously, you've got bailiffs up at the other end, but yeah, managed to get onto peg 31, the pipes.
Yeah.
So we did a night on there. Woke up in the morning to a great take off the left-hand rod, off one of the spots that the notorious, shall we say, pipe swim spots. But unfortunately, the lake had froze during the night due to the temperatures.
You don't want that.
No, not at all. So because there was a bit of weed still on the lake, obviously because of the up and down weather we're getting all over the country, I was playing the fish obviously underneath the ice with the rod tipped down, which isn't obviously the best thing to do. Fish weeded me up. Tried to lift into it after the fish going absolutely nowhere and leaving it for 5 or 10 minutes to see if it would unfree itself, and unfortunately the line cut on the ice. So a bit of a painful one.
Right. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, as you know, name's Adrian Blantford. I am originally from Scotland, moved down here, and obviously a keen carp angler like the millions there are throughout the country. And I fish for Scotland. I'm the Scotland carp team manager. Captain, not manager. I wish I was the manager. Captain. And I work around the country in different areas. And instead of staying in hotels, what I do is I choose to stay on the bank and fish.
Living the dream.
Well, some would say that, but it starts off exciting. Shall we say about April, coming into spring, that sort of thing. But then when we start getting into October, November, the darker nights, it starts becoming a little bit desperate, a little bit lonely, and can be quite depressing at times. So people think it is living the dream, but, I've got a wife, I've got a family. I'm away Monday to Friday. It's hard. I'm not going to say any different. It's nice to get out there and fish for the carp that we all want to do, but it can be very soul destroying at times. And I certainly wouldn't I wouldn't wish it on anybody else, should I, so to speak.
I bet it can get a bit boring after a while.
It can get a bit lonely, and you do end up talking to yourself every now and again. But I suppose that's what you do when you are lonely.
Yeah, hence talking to yourself on a video blog for 20 minutes at a time on YouTube.
Yeah, well, I started doing that late last year after probably talking to myself one too many times. Decided to get a camcorder and start blogging the sessions that I go out on.
Yeah.
So people can relate to it. It's a live session. I don't always catch. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I catch the bream that we all go through from time to time. And sometimes I'm lucky enough to get into a few carp. So it seems to pass the time, and it seems to be the response from the vlogs have been very good so far.
Yeah. So what sort of makes your blogs different from everyone else's video blogs?
I think that they're kind of real. I don't edit anything out. So if I do sit in front of the camera for 15 minutes, whatever I say for those 15 minutes will be put into the blog. We all, we all do the nice little, with the musics and you arriving at the lake and, you're walking around the lake and all that sort of thing. But it actually relates to how people fish. I have to turn up at a lake, I have to find a peg. And then once I've found a peg, I have to find a spot. Sometimes I don't catch. sometimes I do catch, but I think that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something that relates to your average, just like me, average day-to-day angler.
Yeah. Well, we're taking votes, aren't we, at the minute? Or no, we finished taking votes, should I say, last week?
Yeah, we are. We're doing things a little bit different this year. What we're going to do for 1 week out of a month, we're going to put out to vote to the Hobo Armour army out there that there is on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and also the Crack and Tackle followers and my followers as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a vote. Basically, when I go to an area, and I'm going to pick 4 fisheries, and out of those 4 fisheries, the general public then and the followers will pick which I go to.
And where are we on at the minute then?
Well, for February, which is when it's starting, what we did was I'm going over to Essex to work. So the 4 fisheries that we put up for vote was Newlands Fishery, and then we had Crowheath Fishery, Lakeland Fishery, which was Swan Lake on Lakeland, and the Mill Fishery.
Right, and it was Newlands, wasn't it?
It was, yes. Newlands won marginally by about 2%, I think it was, in the end. It just scraped through in the last hours of, obviously, the vote, and that's where we'll be heading in February sometime.
Yeah, the thing I really like about this is it gets people involved in it. So rather than you sitting there searching on YouTube for how to fish Newlands, people want you to fish Newlands, they can actually request it and actually have an impact on how the video is going to play out by picking where you're going to be.
Well, that's it, yeah, because it is going to be day ticket venues. It's going to be venues that are accessible to everybody, whether it's an overnighter, whether it's a 48-hour or a 72-week hour. They're going to be accessible to everybody, and I think that's what's important. We're going to do, things like when we choose a peg, I'm going to find a feature. Once I've found that feature, I'm going to tell people what the wraps are to that feature, what the feature is. If we haven't got the time to do it as well, we're going to do something else as we've discussed, which is with the Deeper Pro Plus, where we're actually going to try and map out swims as well, and you'll be able to see the actual video footage of what that is seen under the water, which I think is very exciting.
I think that's going to be something really different. I think it's a whole different manner than watching someone on the side of a lake and them saying, "Oh, I'm on such and such a lake," and if you don't recognise it, you don't really know where they're fishing. Whereas with yours, obviously they're going to know where you're fishing. They're going to have chosen the swim, chosen the lake, should I say, and then they're then going to get a mapped out version of that peg. At minimum, obviously, if the lake's empty, we can do the lake. But at a minimum, at least they're going to know what that one peg looks like. So if they're lucky enough to get to a lake and fish that peg, there's no having to piss about with any marker rods. Obviously, you want to make sure there's no weed and whatnot, but you can just have a bit of a lead about for that. You don't need to start finding grooves. You can know exactly where it is from the console map from the Deeper, which I think is a fantastic bit of kit. And mine will be getting ordered very, very soon.
Yeah, it is. I've had a play about with it. We're going to do that. On some of the clearer waters as well, we're going to put these myths to bed regarding do pop-ups, or we're going to try, shall we say, do pop-ups react differently on depth, because we've got the Water Wolf, we've got the GoPros we're going to put down. We're going out to Crete Lakes at the beginning of April, crystal clear water, big 50-60 pound fish in there, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and get one of these fish, take a bait with the Water Wolf looking at it, so to speak, and the GoPros on marker poles in the water. So really, really exciting things, and hopefully we can do that, and we can to give people a little insight to hopefully what goes on under the lake from an average day-to-day angler like myself.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, it's all consumer tech that you're using. It's nothing. We're not using £1,000 cameras. It's GoPros and Water Wolves. It's things that you can buy from Argos. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing.
Yeah, that's the whole point of, I think, what we're doing, and what we've spoke about, Mark, is that we want to do something that I keep on saying it, the average day-to-day angler can go and do, or it will help. Yeah, it has. Yeah, because I can't relate to somebody catching a 50-pound carp or 3 of them, at Wellington Country Park. because I can't get on Wellington Country Park. It's very nice to watch somebody doing that, but I wanted to do something different because a lot of the DVDs that are out there now, or YouTube blogs from the bigger name danglers, it's all about this. It's not, you can't access it, so to speak. There's 450 people on the waiting list at Welly Park. You're never going to get in there in my time, so to speak. So people need to relate to it, and I think getting them interacting with what we're doing and where we're going is the best way to do it.
So when can we look forward to the next video then for Newlands? It's going to be mid-February or end of February?
Yeah, it'll probably be sometime in February. So you're probably looking the first week of March. Once we've done, once we've got it all together in a movie, so to speak. It'll probably be the first week of March, so to speak. So, that's when the first one will be going out, and then the next poll will be going out in February. We'll decide between ourselves I'll decide what area I'm going to, and then again, we'll look at the 4 fisheries, we'll put them up there, and the general public can go for the vote again.
Where are you thinking? You got anywhere in mind?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know yet. There's a few areas. We're going to try and do a few ones up north as well, because obviously, there's a fair few anglers, carp anglers up the northern region. There's loads of areas that
you
we
can
can
come and
glitch
catch
it
some
into.
of our doubles. You can catch
I don't mind.
The late record at £23 from.
A carp's a carp to me. You know what I mean? I don't care how big it is. Yes, I do like the big fish, but at the end of the day, we're all out on the bank to catch a fish.
That's it. Well, it's been great chatting to you, Adi, and we look forward to seeing the videos and finding out what's going on there. And we'll get you back on later on in the month, hopefully. Yeah,
that's great. Like I say, you can give the website out for yourselves. If the guys want to go over to my YouTube channel, which is, just go to it and it's Day Ticket Angler. I'm sure at some point,
to it on the Facebook, on the website.
Go over, hit the subscribe button, and I'm sure there's something in there you'll find that can maybe help you.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll get a link to your YouTube channel put on the website on the media section on www.hoboarmour.com. Cheers, Adi.
No problem. Take care, Mark.
It's now time for Tip of the Show.
Tip of the show. The tip of the show.
And today's tip is brought to you by Terry Howlings.
My tip of the show: when fishing in the winter, fishing single baits, glug baits, casting showing fish, and you want to get the presentation on point, but you're a little bit hesitant to use PVA nuggets because you're a little bit worried about the cold weather, about them dissolving and potentially leaving a gloop or a residue around the hook. My top tip is get 2 pop-ups, preferably if you've got old pop-ups you don't tend to use often. Get a couple of pop-ups, stick them in some PVA mesh, tie them up, and then simply just nick the hook into that mesh between the balls. And then what you'll find is with that, as soon as you cast it out, the mesh will melt a lot easier, especially with the buoyancy of the pop-ups. It will send the pop-ups up to the surface, and not only will you have a visual aspect seeing that the pop-ups have come up and that the mesh bag has melted away from your rig, but also you'll know that rig's going to be presenting as good as it possibly can, and there's not going to be any residue left over from any other potential nuggets or anything like that. That's my tip of the day. If you'd like to give me a follow on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, I'm at TelBG. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for listening. Make sure you pay a visit to our social media sites, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat and Facebook using the tag @Hobo Armour, and obviously check out our website www.hoboarmour.com.